Kali is a Hindu goddess of Indian and Puranic origin. She was worshipped from roughly about 400 Common Era, but may have been worshipped many thousands of years prior to that. Her name is synonymous with the goddess Durga, and she may be a direct reference to that goddess herself. Her cult centers were chiefly in Bengal, and you can find her in art references as well as literary sources, specifically the Ramayana epic and various other Puranic texts. Kali is the most terrible and malignant aspect of the goddess Sakti, and she is seen as an aspect of the goddess of destruction. She is a central figure of the Sakti cult in Bengal, and her consort is generally depicted to be Shiva, who she aids and abets in some very malicious type of activities. In her earliest personification, she may have been seen as purely an evil spirit, and she is often depicted with long, ragged hair, fang-like teeth, or tusks, with lips that are either smeared or dripping with fresh blood. She has claw-like hands with long nails. Her tongue often protrudes. She has no special weapon, but is often seen dancing on the prostrate Shiva. She possesses 10 or sometimes 8 arms, and is often seen wearing a necklace of skulls, a belt of severed arms, earrings of children's corpses, and snakes as bracelets. Often she is half naked. Kali is depicted wading through gore on the battlefield and drinking the blood of her victims. Frequently she holds the head of one in her hands and a large sword in another. At cremation sites, she sits upon the body of the deceased, surrounded by attendant jackals. And there seems to also be a slightly more benign aspect of Kali. She also slaughters demons at our benefit, and sometimes her hands are seen raised in blessings. The conflict of her personality follows a widely held notion that out of destruction comes rebirth, and thus she is incredibly important as a deity that destroys, and from that destruction new life is reborn. Kali is the goddess of death, time, and doomsday, and is often associated with sexuality and violence. But she is also considered a strong mother figure and symbolically of motherly love. She embodies Sakti, which is female energy, creativity, and fertility, and is seen as the incarnation of Parvati, who was the wife of the great Hindu god Shiva. And she is always depicted in the most fearsome representation of herself. Her name translates to she who is death, and as the embodiment of time, Kali devours all things, and she is irresistibly attractive to mortals and gods, and can represent the benevolence of a mother goddess. So there's a great duality in what she represents, but primarily she's pretty much bad if you see Shiva, unless you see her role as that of keeping balance in the universe, which is what her worshippers will say. She is still worshipped in Bengal at the festival of Kali Puja, which is held on the night of the full moon at the Kalihat temple in the city of Calcutta. There are many versions that tell the story of how she came into life. One version relates that the goddess Durga, who had 10 arms, each carrying a weapon, and rode on a lion or tiger in the battle, fought with Mahisa, the buffalo demon. This was a particularly fierce battle, and Durga became so enraged during the battle that her anger literally personified and burst forth from her forehead in the form of Kali. Once born, the goddess went wild and ate all the demons that she came across, stringing their heads on a chain which she wore around her neck. It seems impossible to calm Kali's bloody attacks, which now extend to any wrongdoers or both people and gods who were unfortunate enough to be in her presence. Fortunately, the mighty Shiva was able to stop Kali's destructive rampage by lying down in her path, and when the goddess realized who she was standing on, she finally calmed down. However you view Kali, she remains an important figure in understanding what the mythology of the Hindus were, and presentations were in terms of one being a destructive force, but that also being the devourer of time, and how they would see time ultimately being the one thing that consumes everything around us. And that is what she represents, and it's obviously a necessary feature that we extend, that she destroys in order for new life to be created. Thank you again for joining us in Nightworld Chronicles as we talk more gods and goddesses.